What's up, guys? Welcome back to the One Man Show, the number one and the only fight podcast in Singapore. I am the man, and we have the one over there, Singapore's number 2 ranked boxer, no longer number 1, so nobody pretty much cares about him these days. But what we do care about is our guest today. Finally, we have a female back on the show. I would like to welcome Miss Nur Sabrina Mohammed Faisal. She is an amateur Singapore boxer. Welcome to the show, Sabrina.
Hello guys. Thank you for having me here. I've been listening to this for a while, so I'm quite excited to be here actually.
Well, first of all, thanks for listening to us. We're glad to know that other than Ridhwan, who likes to listen to his own voice, we actually have another listener. Because I don't listen to this because I don't want to listen to one's voice. How are you? How's the whole COVID-19 circuit breaker thing? How has it gone for you and your training and stuff like that?
So it's been good, but I'm still adjusting to the whole new normal thing, and with training with no contact stuff. I mean, we do pets and stuff, so training all is still good for me. Just slowly trying to get back into shape, into fight weight, which has been a struggle, but slowly.
Now, Sabrina, you are an amateur Singapore boxer. You represented Singapore in the 2019 Asian Games. Is it 2019 or 2018?
No, I didn't represent in that. I went for a test event, yeah.
We just read an article before this that says that you were, so obviously the article is lying. Somebody's lying. I don't know who's lying, but I'm sorry that.
I'm okay. Some credentials.
But you have represented Singapore before. You are in the circles. And you are also a national champion, yes?
Yes.
Okay, obviously that's one of the reasons why we have you on the show. Another few-time national champion is Ridhwan. One, you wanted to say something before I embarrassingly disrespected her with that misinformation?
Actually, I kind of forgot. I remember. What's the new norm in training for you now? How's training for you now?
I guess a smaller group, cause in we can't do much sparring, and then less people to do things with. That I'm usually around a big group of there's usually the gym is usually busy and stuff, but now it's a small group. And
does it get boring though? The same thing, same people.
I think I just enjoy the sport in general. So I enjoy the whole boxing training except the running.
Same.
I hate running alone, bro. So I just enjoy boxing. I don't mind doing pets and technical stuff alone with my coach, but not the running. I love running in a big group just because I'm useless at running. So I just need that.
How we train here, we run a lot, right? But we know you've been to the overseas camp with Leona and stuff too. Where is it in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the training there? Do they do a lot of running or what?
Yeah, man. This Europe girls run consistently 8K, 5K, 10K every week at a good pace. To us, I think because we struggle also because the heat here is quite super intense, but for them they get in good timings, good runs. They do sprint intervals and stuff and they do it as a team, as a big team. But usually over here we do it alone on the hill. The worst part is on the hill alone.
Yeah, it's always better to suffer with a lot of people, because I think you, Danisha, and Leona are starting a common habit before this whole circuit breaker thing. You all wake up 5, 6 a.m. and go to the stadium and run, right?
Yeah, my God, I think that was the biggest, for me that was the biggest help that I could get, because running with boys, I'm always used to running with boys. Then I always feel I'm the slowest, but then with girls, Leona and Danisha are still fast but I feel a bit more like, okay, I should push myself.
So is it like a race when you three run, or was it
I
more
just try to survive.
For
Except
you,
Shala.
for you try to survive.
Show behind these two skinny girls. Like,
all I can say is that you should ask those European girls to try running here every day for click, and see whether firstly see whether they can tahan the heat. Secondly, see whether they still want to run after that or not. Because I gave up running a long time ago. That's why I've grown.
Obviously,
Now, it's interesting how you say that you love the sport of boxing, right? How did this love develop in the first place? Could you tell us a bit more on how you picked up the sport, and because guys, like, when we usually talk to guys, it's always like, some of them really want to be a fighter, some of them want to lose weight, and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting to know like why girls pick up the sport. Yeah.
Wait, before Sabrina started, I just want to say something. I remember back then I was working at Venda, and I remember that was the first time I saw Sabrina. Because somebody told me Sabrina's gonna come. There's a girl who's gonna come over and train. Like she gets into trouble or something like that. I don't know how true it is. And then she just needs an outlet to to express herself and that kind of stuff.
No, that's what I hear. But I'm just like, I never got into trouble.
That's what I heard. But I never got a chance to say anything, because after 1 week later or 2 weeks later, I'm gone from that place. Yeah. So then after one, I see you training for fun. After that, competitively. So it was good. I mean, that's my side of the story to what I heard about Sabrina when she joined Venda back then. A cowboy kid who needs an outlet to...
Wait, yeah, apparently this is going to be the one man show, the fake news episode, because everybody is getting misinformed about you right now. Before we ask you anything moving on, we're going to double check, okay?
Okay, so so tell us what's the real story here. That's what happened.
Like with the sport, so partly was to like lose weight, and then but also was from like a girls' school. So like at 14, 15, I think you become a bit more vain. And someone in a girls' school, then everybody like Victoria's Secret was like a big thing at 14, 15 years old. So
yes, obviously, even to us boys.
So there's like, Adriana Lima.
Yeah, she does boxing, right?
Yeah, she did boxing. Then, so she was the first like celebrity that I saw introduce me to boxing, I guess. Then I was also into like this whole Korean face thing, and came across this variety show, and who Song Gayon is?
No. But she sounds beautiful.
Evolved now. Okay.
Oh, Song Gayon. Okay, yeah. She knows me.
She knows me too. Yeah, she definitely knows me. And
she's pretty. She's pretty.
She's
you don't even know she's shut up.
She can't speak English, but I'll have her on the podcast if she wants to be on the podcast.
So I first saw her in that variety show. Then I saw her prepping for this MMA fight, and then how she went through a diet and the whole camp and stuff. So I was quite intrigued by this whole martial arts thing lah. So I decided to give taekwondo a try. So I went for taekwondo trial, and then I came back. My parents didn't allow because they didn't want me kicking someone's head.
Okay. Fair enough. Usually the parents is afraid of your head getting kicked.
Yeah, and they just say it's the whole Malay thing where you shouldn't touch someone else's head or something like that.
Biotech style.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Then so I think I went to go and search boxing. I can't remember what is the middle ground. I can't remember what the middle ground was, but I went to search up boxing, and then I came across Venda on Google. Then I decided go and give it a try. Went for a trial, and then somehow I was a broke secondary school student, so I didn't sign up. I had to save up for a bit, and Like then I could sign. 2 months later, I decided to sign up because I had a bit more money. So I saved up. Then I was smart. I used my mom's card to like put as the credit card. You know, like when you sign up, I use my mom's credit card.
Money installment deduct for her.
Yeah, but after a while, I don't have to pay because she was member.
Wait. So this is where the whole troubled youth story.
Maybe I was that troubled. Like that's the trouble about me.
Using your parents' credit card, all this good.
But they know you're gonna be joining the gym.
Yeah, they knew I was gonna be joining the gym, but like, so when I started, I joined the kids class. Like I was.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So like, I remember like going to the gym. I would like go after school. I didn't even like hang out with my friends. Like when I first found boxing, like I've always been quite competitive since young. Like I played basketball. Like I danced for a bit. Like, but I just wasn't into all of it. Like team sport thing, I guess. Like I was into like team sport, but I just wasn't very good lah. But I was quite athletic. Then, but I think because I was quite competitive when I was in kids class, right? Like whoever I feel like was better than me, I had to be better than them.
Wait, even though they're kids?
Like 30,
She was a kid back then too.
Yeah, 15-year-olds lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're all 15-year-olds. And the kids class in Vanda was like international teenagers.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, okay, no, I have to beat all these like Korean girls or Angmo girls. Like, I need to prove that.
Singapore represent.
I need to prove like I'm better. So I trained quite hard. Then, like, I used to do like a kids class in the beginning. And then when I knew that I could do an adults class, I used to do like a kids class and an adults class for like 2-3 hours in a row. So
wow.
Yeah, so like I ditch, like not say ditch lah, but I didn't hang out with my friends after school. Like from school, I just straight chunk to the gym, just train on. Like.
But what was it that drives you? Was it like by then you really loved boxing, or was it because you really just wanted to lose the weight?
I think
you were doing 2 hours.
I think I was just competitive. Like I just wanted to be good at it. Like it was something that I feel like that I might actually be good at, you know? So I was just competitive and I just wanted to like be good at this also. And I think in boxing is like, I think one thing was like the community, and on top of that was like when I feel like every lesson I went, like there was something for me to learn. And like, you know, boxing is like no matter how many times you do it, like you think that you are good at it, but then when you look back, it's like, bro, I was shit, bro. Like, and then you just get better. You know that you'll get better every session.
Yeah. Like some people just give up after the first 2 sessions. Like Iman. Just come to the gym, take a photo, put on Instagram.
I'm just doing it for the gram. That's about it.
So like I think was that, and then I also started to see that I was losing weight lah. I think that was one of the motivation for me. So I was slowly, at that time I was quite like I wasn't very healthy. Like I wasn't very fit. I wasn't very healthy. But like that one also like spiraled a lot of issues for me, because like other than on top of being very competitive, like I think like looking up to like all these Victoria's Secret models, like I also slowly like developed like eating issues and all.
Oh, okay. So this is where the troubled youth really develops.
But nobody knew about it.
Until now.
Yeah. So okay, this is like my first time sharing to maybe whoever's listening lah.
I mean the thousands that we have, like 5K.
Wow.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna know.
How was it like? How long were you like suffering from that?
So for me, like I think was the fact that everybody used to like, so I used to be from like tough club and things like that, and like for me I was just like, okay, you know what, like I had friends who were eating like in the girls' school. I had friends who were eating like 1 bar of some like diet bar, and I was just like, you know what, like, if that's what's going to take me to get there, like I'm pretty sure like with 3 workouts a day, I'll be able to eat a bit more, but I'll just starve at night, something like that. And then like I was also into that whole Korean thing, so like the Korean culture was like to be skinny one, and like that one inspired. Like I was so in the beginning, I was just working out and eating less, and there was progression. But after a while that was like plateau, and I wasn't at my goal, so I started like vomiting after meals.
So you became bulimic.
Yeah, but like people wouldn't see it because I wasn't like skinny, and I was still like surviving. But I remember in school, like it was like somehow I just felt like, I eat, then I would like, to my friends I ate a lot because I'll eat like nasi lemak plus like some egg tart and like maybe like watermelon and some green tea or whatever. But then I'll go to the toilet after that and like so nobody would see it. But then my weight was dropping, and I think people only realized that I lost a lot of weight really, really fast when like 3 months later I started at 65. 3 months later I think I was at like 52 or something like that.
So wait, when you were stuffing yourself with all those food, right? Was it because you are hungry, or was it because it's just so delicious that you need to eat it? What's the mentality like?
Like it's like, I think it's like binging. Like okay, I need to eat. I want to eat. Like I think for me it was okay. Like I used to like eat like M&Ms. I used to like chew on M&Ms, but then I'll spit it out.
Okay.
What? Why?
Because to me, it was like I just needed a taste. I didn't have to swallow the calories.
So then after that, you go to the toilet, you vomit everything out. Do you immediately become hungry again after that, or was it okay because you tasted something?
No, like then I would. So from then, that's like my recess timing lah. So I'll just go and vomit everything. Somehow I can tahan. Then after school, like I'll most only eat like a watermelon. Then I'll go for training. And 3 hours I'll exercise, then work out, then I'll eat a bit, then I'll go home and like vomit again. Like that was my whole like process. But I like nobody knew because like I wasn't skinny. Like I didn't look like I was dying lah. So somehow I survived that like whole. Like, I was lucky to like get out of it. Like
how did you get out of it? I mean, how long did it go on for? And what happened that you got out of it?
So like all this happened when I was still in the kids class. Then like when I started joining the adults class, like I met like more adults. And then I think like when you hang out with more adults, like you kind of like mature. So
well, it depends on what kind of adults. If you hang out with us,
you might kill your brain cells.
Yeah, you'll probably revert back to the kids' class after hanging out with us.
Yeah, but like partly I did the kids' class also because like it was like afterward it became like a one-on-one session. So it's like free PT. So like I think that was quite smart of me lah to try to get in like some, because like if you are alone in the class you usually get like pets and stuff. And like that was something like I knew that would help me like get to a better level of boxing. Yeah.
But I remember that when you started, before I left Venda, I think I saw you box for a little bit, and you were quite a natural. You wasn't like stiff or anything. Maybe it was because of your taekwondo. Maybe it was because of your taekwondo.
No, I did taekwondo one trial lesson.
But I thought because I remember them telling me that you were quite okay. It didn't seem like they have to teach you a lot.
I told you I used to practice in the toilet. Like when I'm showering,
all the boxers do that.
No, I
training in the toilet.
On shower.
Like when I had to learn how to coordinate, right? I had to learn how to coordinate. I remember like, okay, left hand, left leg. I'll be in the toilet trying to shadow box up the tiles while I'm showering. That's how retarded I was. Like,
yeah, we all are. Don't worry.
It's not. Wait. Hang on. Firstly, you guys are all not retarded. Secondly, you cannot use retarded as a word anymore in 2020. Thirdly, apparently, in order to be a successful boxer in Singapore, you have to shadow box in the toilet because everyone that we've talked to so far does that. Yeah. So I think you were on the right path there.
Okay, somehow all these like, so it's like, I guess from then, like I learned that, okay, like I think like through all this improvement in kids class, I realized, actually I can handle the adults class. So I moved on to the adults class. Then I met a lot of adults. That's where like I met a few people that were slightly older than me and that I got closer to. And I think like being around them, like I just like learn. I think I mature a bit faster like with them. So then that's when I realized that like there was no need to like vomit and like bother about what people. I was quite insecure, like. Yeah, so like to like bother what people thought about me, like if I had to be skinny. Like for me last time was like, okay, try to fit into a 6 or an 8, you know?
I'm smiling because I think you soon realize that all fighters just stuff themselves with food. So
right.
really no use to vomit because everybody just eating openly like, yeah, I love food, I love pizza, I love everything.
Yeah. That's what I realized after that. Like, but then at 15, 14, you won't think that way.
Yeah, correct.
So like I think so this bunch of adults in like the adults class like helped me, and then I kind of just progressed to like, eating healthier, making better choices. But like bro, like eating healthy at Raffles was I was broke, man. Yeah, I was broke.
Let me just interject for a moment. If any one of you who are listening right now is not familiar with the fight scene in Singapore, Vanda used to be a boxing gym. Where was Vanda located?
Robinson Road.
Yeah, so it's in Robinson Road. One used to be a cleaner at Vanda, and apparently Sabrina used to be in the kids class, right? One, you were supposed to be a cleaner, right?
No, I wasn't a cleaner. What the hell? Your story all nonsense.
Fake news with this.
I started out as the reception boy. After that, I got upgrade. Then after that, I do clean the toilets also lah. I'm not the official cleaner. That's another. Not saying being a cleaner is not good, but I don't want to steal somebody else's job. Somebody has their job. So my job is, hello, welcome to Vanda. Swipe. Okay, come in.
Clean the toilet.
Clean the toilet.
You couldn't even do that right.
Then after that, I got a chance to do the kids class. After I do the kids class, and then I started to do the adults class. So that's how. Then I became the manager for a while. Then I left. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Now owner.
But were you still cleaning toilets when you're the manager or no?
No.
Because you know, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself, right? So, yeah.
So no. I was busy. A lot of things.
I mean, it seems that a lot of people got their start in Vanda, and unfortunately, Vanda is no longer around. That spot has been taken up by another gym, right? Is it where the ring is right now?
No, is it it's a healthcare space, I think, that's going to come up. The ring's behind at Cecil Street.
Okay.
But I think with the whole pandemic, like, they're quite lucky that they got out. Like,
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Just nice.
Yeah, swapped it.
I think a lot of businesses are struggling at the moment, and but it's good to know that none. I mean, I don't think there's any boxing gym that has been said to close down yet, right?
I don't think so. I haven't heard any.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something, Sabrina?
No. I hope not.
Stirring the tea there. Was it going to spill?
No. No, like, I think boxing has been quite like has been quite interesting, like few years to see the sport grow. I mean, like with different types of boxing gyms.
Other than seeing the boxing grow, you obviously have been growing in stature in the scene itself, right? When did you start competing? You know, when was your first fight? And you know, after your first fight, do you actually think that no, this is something that I want to do for a very long time? You know, I mean, how did it get from like I want to lose weight to I want to punch people in the face?
So it's like okay, so at that time, there was like a fight team recruitment because I think like the whole fight team left to someone's gym over here.
Is it that guy? The manager? Is it the manager?
The number two in Singapore.
Juan, why you do that? Why you steal people's fight team, Juan?
Why?
You don't act like you don't know.
So they did a recruitment and then somehow I wasn't good enough to get on it. But the only reason I wanted to get on it because it's so lame, but there was like, to me, there was a good looking guy on the team.
Korean.
It wasn't one. One left already. What?
I made her options a bit easier.
Some like kid on the kids class that got on the fight team lah. So I was just like, so I trained quite hard also. That was like my motivation also to train hard and just to get on a team with this stupid guy. I can't remember his name now.
Oh, then, so he's not around anymore.
Yeah, like he went back. Yeah. So for that, like I think from then I trained quite hard. Like, cause from the first time I was told that I wasn't good enough to get on it. Then I was just like, you know what, like eventually I'm gonna prove that like I'm gonna be good enough to get on this lah.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Alexis then asked me, like after a while, like in adults class, then I think I started doing the night class. Then I met Coach Alexis. Then he kind of like asked me if I'm looking to compete and things like that. So actually, before like I said yes, I actually went home to like ask my mom. Okay, but every female mom, like bro, like who wants to see your daughter get beat up in the ring, right?
True.
So my mom sent an email to Vanda to say that I cannot compete. Like I can only do boxing for like fitness purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was quite like I just kind of, coach like he just asked me to train in the fight team. So I was training with like you know Irong?
I think so.
Yeah, Irong with Shay and all.
Shay.
Yeah, and AJ and all. So like we were training, like I still Coach Lexis kind of helped build that basic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that proper basic, like competing basic. Then I decided like, okay, you know what, like I want to compete because there was a nationals coming up. And then, there was a nationals first. There was a nationals coming up. Then I was like, I don't know why I thought I was ready for nationals lah, but I just decided that I wanted to give it a try. Then I wrote an email to Vanda and pretended to sign off as my mom. And say to say that like she allowed me to compete now. So she understands where I'm coming from.
Whoa.
Yeah. So in short, during this, like so somehow like I lose, like I try to make weight and things like that. And I was actually at my lowest like fighting weight at 51.
So low. Wow.
Yeah, but like I struggled, man. That was the weight cut was a real struggle. Then I was supposed to win and compete against Pash. Coach Lexi say, I think either Fash didn't show up or like Coach Lexi said I wasn't ready to compete against Fash. Like, so I couldn't do that fight lah. But then and Vanda at that time had an invitational, like in-house tournament thing. So I was like, so I just train hard and prepare. So that was like my first like semi-official tournament, the invitational in-house. Yeah, where I got to go against like quite a tall girl called Rina. Like, and that was like my first also proper friendship, like from the gym, and she was like a close friend. So we kind of trained together and like competed against one another, which for me was fun lah. Like, I also don't know. Actually, I don't know why I enjoy like the whole beating each other up thing. But I just remember like my first sparring also. Like I can remember my first sparring because like it was in a ring with this girl called Laurentia, and we didn't like. I think we just decided to like, because we were seeing like Shay and Irong sparring and all. Then I never got to try it, so I never got a girl to like do it with. So like when she decided like, okay, like I'm gonna put on a headgear and try it for the first time, I was like, hey, I can beat this girl up with. So like, nice. I don't think I'm too bad. That's why I think like I was ready to compete also. Yeah. But
so in which, I mean, so when you went for the first fight, did you win your first fight?
The invitational, there's no winner or loser, but but I think I won because I like.
Damn, you're so competitive for sure on this.
Like, I just remember swinging at so many overhands lah. That like that's the only thing.
So wait. So after your first fight, were you like bruised up or anything like that? how do you go home without without your parents noticing?
So like my parents didn't know, but you know when you win, they give you this invitational T-shirt.
Yeah.
So like first I hide the medal, but then I was damn stupid. I went and washed the invitational T-shirt. I just put it in a pile of laundry. And then my mom like, you think I'm stupid but somehow she was supportive like she didn't I think to her was as long as I was like safe and like she also had a female colleague that was involved in martial arts. So like she kind of told her that as long as I'm safe and if I really want to do it, then like she should support Then my mom like supported. But I think to them was like, because I was quite I changed my mind a lot. So like at the time I was like playing a lot of sports. I was swimming. I was like doing quite a lot of things. So to them was this boxing stint will only last for like give her like 1 year or something. Then she want.
But it's stuck. But are they supportive of you being a boxer now?
I think they are until and my parents are quite competitive. So like if I lose and when I lose like in tournaments that they feel like I should win and I lose, they feel like I don't think you're made for this. But then when I win, they're like, okay, you know what, go for it.
Well, does your mom know that you forged her email and send out the email? Or is this going to be the first time that she...
If she hears it, then sorry, mom, but...
Yeah, please change your password, Sabrina's mom.
I created an email. So
I am Sabrina mom at Gmail.
She thought it through, man. You thought it from start to finish. So you've been boxing for a while now, right? Before we go on to the next topic, I just want to ask you whether it's true or false, but you have trained overseas before.
Yeah, I did. So I've been to Philippines with the training camp, the national team, and I did a stint in Europe, like Ireland and England as well.
Now we're very interested to hear about the stint and how in Europe and how that went about. I mean, how did the thought of? I mean, you were the only one that went, right?
Yeah, so for me, I started competing internationally in 2017, end of the year, in some so they call it ASBC Asian Women's Championship, which is like a big thing because it's like Asian Games, but it's just an Asian Championships and it's just a women's thing. And I think my first draw was Kazakhstan, and honestly, I never really watched amateur boxing until before this tournament. I used to I don't really not say I don't enjoy watching boxing but I enjoy watching boxing live, but not I'm sorry Ridhwan, but I don't enjoy watching 12 round fights just because it's a process to sometimes get to that, you know. Yeah. If it goes 12 round, then it's a bit shag for a viewer
Yeah. So I guess you like watching one's fight because he usually finishes his opponents quite early, right?
Yeah.
No, I think sometimes there's when you're an athlete, when you're a boxer yourself, when you see that you get the itch and you just somehow don't like to watch. And for me myself, I don't like to watch fights also. And the only fights I like to watch are those people that I know because I'm emotionally invested in it, or I've worked with them, or I know them personally. That's the reason that I want to watch. But if it's two random people, no matter how good they are, I don't really care because it doesn't mean anything to me unless there's drama or what behind it. That's how professionals sell their fight, right? Drama and stuff. But other than that, it's just two people just punching each other in the face.
I only watch fights if the drama is real, then I'll go watch it, you know? Like some Singapore box gonna happen soon.
You're referring to that kind of drama. Yeah, we did a whole episode on that, people, so you can have a listen.
Yeah, so speaking of this Kazakhstan, so I think I discovered the Kazakhstan men's team, and that's the first time I realized that amateur boxing is such a high it's very high pace. it's very fast paced because it's only 3 minutes. You got 3 rounds to finish it. So and like the Kazakhstan, I think because how explosive they were, I was like, okay, like I also watched found out about like the Russians and like the things like that. So when I went to Vietnam and realized that I was drawing against some Kazakh girl, bro, I just like I almost died, man. Like in my heart, I think that was the biggest. That was the part. That was part of me losing already. That I was just scared,
Mentally, lah.
Yeah.
I remember the people in Singapore like holding prayers for you too.
Yeah, like, but then because but I also had that was my Shaggers weight cut, because I remember cutting 7 kilos in 3 weeks.
Wow.
And for amateur tournament, so for that fight, I had to, but I'm not very disciplined with my weight. So I always struggle with my weight cuts and stuff. That's what I'm trying to get better at this year. But at that time,
year's ending.
It's getting better. So at that time, I cut about 6-7 kilos. And then when I was in Kazakhstan, when I was in Vietnam, I had to cut, I think 2 kilos on the day. Wow. So part of me was you know what, the weight cut was tough. So I just have to get this over and done with, which was a loser's mentality. Yeah. So that Kazakhstan fight was that fight against Kazakhstan was my first eye-opening experience, to international boxing. Then I realized that we are worlds apart, in terms of level. But then I also was quite happy because that was one of my better performance, but I still got ranked lah. But
you lasted the fight, right?
Yeah, I survived. But I got a body shot that I was actually scared.
You went down, is it?
No, I didn't go down. They had to fix my hair. So I was quite happy when they had to fix my hair. I was like, I can breathe a bit.
But I think that's something still, not say to be proud that you lost, but I think we are sort of wow, she lasted the whole fight, and then she can learn a lot, rather than she get knocked down, and the fight's over, they become a tourist in 1 round. So the fact that it happened, you lasted. I fought against Kyrgyzstan or whatever, and I got knocked out in the first round. Not sleep, but back then during my time, if the opponent is leading by 20 points, the fight is going to be stopped.
Yeah, true.
So I traveled all the way to the other side of the world. 1 minute, then I lost. What the heck? So it's quite good. You lasted the fight in Kazakhstan, and as a boxer, what do you learn from that? Because you said you're worlds apart. There must be something that made you grow as a boxer when you came back to Singapore.
For me, I think it was when I realized that I needed to train harder, in terms of physically, and I knew that for women's boxing, I feel we are not say we are both apart, but they are there, but we are kind of here.
Yeah. So
it's for men's amateur, I feel it's very different because they start from very young and the level of boxing is very, very high. But for women, for us, we have the potential to like catch up.
Because it's still quite new, so everybody's on the level playing ground.
I mean, they're good lah, but we are also quite good. I feel like we're not too bad. Then it just, for me, it's like, okay, like I survived this, so I'll be able to. I feel like if I work a lot harder, I'll be able to get to like where I want to be. But boxing is like, boxing is not, boxing is freaking difficult. That's what I keep saying. Like, so when I
boxing in Singapore is difficult, or boxing is difficult?
Boxing is difficult, plus the situation makes it difficult.
We will get into that in a bit.
Yeah, so like I actually went for my next international tournament, which was the Asian test event lah. And for that, like it was the weight cut was difficult, but like I mean I still survived and I made it lah. Then, but that one was I fought against India for the test event. Then the India girl was, I think when the India girl was a Team B India, and that was the first time I had like a bruise. Like I was happy that I finally got a bruise, because I always wanted like a boxing bruise, but part of me was like disappointed that like, I trained so hard and I like I didn't get what I want. Then so I remember like I remember during every prep, every tournament, before, after, I'll cry. Like you can ask all my teammates, right? Like actually I was listening to like a lot of podcasts, like bro, boxers cry, any martial artist cry a lot. Like it's like every prep I'll cry, every weight cut I'll cry. I sprint also can cry.
It seems like people keep on getting on our podcast and they keep telling us they cry, man. I don't know why. We've got some of the toughest fighters from Singapore here, and we just realized that all of them cry.
Yeah, like I think for me, like it was that India fight that made me realize that, like, that fight against India that made me realize that, like, I needed to watch more boxing, more amateur boxing to like get better and just to copy and learn. And also, like, I not say get out of here, but I need to create some opportunities for myself to like get myself better in the sport. So, but I mean, obviously the biggest struggle we have here, for me, I feel, was just support lah. Like support from we have a good community, but not like a supportive community.
Community as in like people or organizations,
like,
or gyms or?
Like I think gyms are supportive in a way where, like, in terms of local events, like we try to provide as much, but then there's only so much we can do because everything's so expensive here, you know. But then there's no support from like the associate, like not no support, like very little support from the association and like restructure and things like that. So from then, I traveled a bit more with like the national team. So we went to like Manado, and Manado was the toughest, like for me it was the toughest fight and toughest weight cut of my life.
The crowd was crazy right there.
Yeah, and like we had a lot of booze. Like people are cheering for us and like.
Yeah, I remember.
Why?
I remember when I was walking into the ring in Manado, I was like, kick the leg, break the leg.
Yeah. And I didn't know Indonesians hate us.
It's not boxing now, kid.
Wait, you don't know Indonesians hated us?
Yeah, I feel like it's like I don't know whether like their hate for us was real or what lah, but they really like they like if we were fighting against a Japanese, they would cheer for a Japanese, but not a Singaporean.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. So I was just a bit like shocked that they were against us in that way. So I think on top of that, like I was also struggling with the weight cut. Then in Manado, I wouldn't say it was a bad like space, but when you have like weight to cut and then your room, we arrived at like 12 midnight. The hotel space. Then the weigh-in was like next morning 7 a.m. Then like I think I had 2 kilos or 3 kilos to cut. Then my body just cannot already.
Wow, it's too much. Yeah,
like tired and everything. So I remember like Junhao like skipped with me. Like Junhao was a lifesaver. I think I would have died alone.
No man, that guy's a legend. The guy.
Yeah, Junhao is a legend. Like so he helped me like through the weight cut and stuff until I think like 2-3 a.m. But then like I say like, you know what, I'll just wake up at 5, then I'll continue again lah. So I really tried, I ran everything, but like I made the weight off and then I made 57, but to me it was like, you know what, like that was another like loser's mentality, was that, no, I'm just gonna make through this fight, like win or like in my head was like, I want to win, but I also don't want to weight cut, you know, that kind of thing. Which was
like you're not hungry enough for the victory.
Like, and then cause I think like in my head, like I also made a lot of excuses for myself. Like, yeah, we also don't have that much training as a team, like and things like that. Like so, and then I think when I went there and like I competed, and for me I did badly because I fought this tall like Vietnamese girl and she was just countering, but like I was just like stupidly walking in and just tired from the weight cut and everything. So when I lost, and then I reflected that like I was a big like burden to the team for like with the weight cut and things like that. Then I just wanted to like go to a place where, like, you know, where boxing is a bit more recognized and more serious. So then I had like initially I planned to go to India. I was like, you know what, like after I graduate from poly, like why not I just take a gap year and then like travel and do some boxing camp and stuff. Like so I decided that there was this like institute in India called Inspire Institute or something like that. So now they actually run the national training camps for the females. So I was like, it's a private camp then, and they had like this US coach also. So I was like, that would be a good space for me to start. You know, but then India didn't go through because
visa.
No, Coach Kade took a long time to give me a letter.
Oh, just about to ask you on this.
Hang on.
So they need a letter from the association to say that you represent the country before they can accept you.
Yeah, like
so yeah, it makes sense because not they're going to accept any other
cheaper alternative. Like I didn't want to like go to UK because UK was like a private thing and it was going to be expensive. So I was like, okay, you know what, go Philippines or India. Then it's like I think I chased it for months, like, and he never like he kind of gave me a reply, but it wasn't like I wasn't like.
So it was vague. Vague.
Yeah, and then he did say that like also like Philippines are not gonna allow us to come because of SEA Games or something like that. So I was just like, okay, now that those two are out of the picture, then so I was like, okay, like UK is my. I don't know why I thought of UK and not US, but UK was my better choice for. Because I think I know why, because I like GB boxing. Like I look up to like Luke and Pat McCormack and like.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to like, you know what, like for me it was like, okay, so I went to research like where they started boxing at. So it was
all this research and context is all done by you. It's not like referred to you by anybody from the association or something like that.
No, so that's how I found out about this Newcastle gym called Birtley Boxing. Then I had a mate, like a client of my coach Sam, who he's actually from Leicester in UK, in England. So he recommended me to go to this gym called Unity Boxing. Because there was this like GB 60 kilo as well called Paige that was on the team. And then I just watched videos of her. And then actually initially I was quite like hesitant if I wanted to go to Leicester. Because to me I was like Birtley like more, you know, got like Luke and Pat McCormack like a bit more will be a bit more.
You have to go for image, I see.
I'm a girl one.
Okay, makes sense.
Different motivation.
That's why she doesn't train at Legends one, because you're there.
You have to get through this ugly phase.
She cannot.
Too much.
She ran away to UK because there was no one good looking in Singapore.
Yeah, and then so what happened?
So I did this whole planning thing, but then my biggest issue was like finances, because
for sure.
like it was not cheap, and like UK is not cheap. And then so just nice, we also found the Irish camp, the Ireland camp. So I'm like a bit of a stalker on like Facebook. So I would like go and stalk on Instagram, on Facebook to see like what's going on. I'll join all this like international boxing group or whatever to see what's going on lah. Then I came across this like document saying that like there's a international Irish camp holding. So actually like me among the girls, like we were quite close. So we've been talking about traveling together and boxing. Like me and Leona actually even planned to go to Cuba. But then like Rujdi from the ring told us that it's not safe. So we like, okay, we ditched the plan. Then we like never thought we'd travel together until I sent them this like document. Then we all like, let's go. Then like to me was like, cause they're all working, but I'm not working. Then it's like I was working like part time, and like what can a student and a part time can't really like afford like a camp lah. But to me I was like, I just gotta make it happen. Like,
what do you do for part time?
I coach at Vendalo.
Oh, back then, okay.
Yeah. So like I was like, no, I'm just gonna make this happen. I'm gonna ask around to see if anybody's willing to throw me some money. But my parents just kind of told me that like, my parents were a bit like, wow, this getting a bit too expensive, you know? for something that they thought that I wouldn't last after 1 year. Then like, now want to go camp or like.
So your mom did not let you use credit card again?
Don't think.
Did you try though?
Lucky enough, I didn't have to use it. Then like, so I actually talked to my gym about wanting to do this, and they were all like quite supportive. Then they were talking to me, so I was just telling them that I wanted to look for a sponsor to see if this guy can actually. So I decided to like, okay, no, I'll just do 2 weeks the Irish camp, and then I'll go to England for 2 months to do the camp. So I calculated it was about 13,000 lah. So like I was gonna ask my parents, so I was lucky that when I asked Brenda, then they have this like white collar event where we get to meet like a lot of like
corporate executives,
corporate people and stuff. And then there was this guy called Yan who's doing like, he runs a asset management company. I don't know why he trusted me, but he was willing to like pump in like the money to invest in me. Because I asked so many people, I asked like Deloitte. Like to me, I was like, I thought like these companies can help because they sponsor athletes, right? So like, I think I emailed like 10 people. To me, I was like, cannot be nobody reply me, you know? Like at least I emailed 10, 2 or 3 reply me. And like, for me, I was like, you know, I'm going to make this work no matter what. So, and somehow this guy, like when Michelle and Livy, the marketing for Vanda at that time, they asked him, like he opened up and then he said he was going to invest their money in me. And I didn't have to do anything for him. Like, don't even have to print his name or whatever. So I just remember like crying. Because
legit.
I think like, anyone who would receive that kind of offer would cry.
Give me his number, please.
I don't have his number. That's how
random
whole thing is like, I haven't even met him for lunch or anything yet. So I only met him once at a white collar event. Then to me it was like, why would this guy who's only met me once like wanna give me that money? So I remember like I wrote him a card and then I just like, oh, thank you for like believing in me. And I just gave it to him doing white collar lah. Then he just like he just take like I was then shocked because like he just took it like it was nothing, you know. Like he was damn cool about it, yeah. He was just damn cool about it. And I was just like, there are actually people out there that wants to help like us or help like developing athletes. So he, with that money, I was like, first thing I can book a flight, everything. Book a flight. I was like able to like finally plan. So obviously you want to go for like a training camp, there's always like a prep for a training camp. Because I didn't want to go there like not fit.
Yeah.
So I started like proper SNC and everything, like just for that camp. Yeah, because that was another fight that was after another fight that I fought against another Kazakh girl at 60 in another Asian championship. Then that was the first time I got RSC. Yeah.
RSC is referee stop contest, right?
Yeah.
Because you got beat up or because you were hurt, you got knocked down?
They thought I was taking too many punches lah. But like I felt like it was unnecessary, but then it's like when I look back it was something I needed. Like yeah. So obviously like I started SNC, I was able to like afford all this a bit more. And then somehow like the prep was about 2 months. Then before you know it, like I think we're all excited. Then me and Danisha on the plane already, going to Ireland.
Next thing you know, you want to play with Danisha. I like where this story is going.
We had this like whole thing right where like all of us were on different seats, different flight, like anyhow book one, like no proper. Like,
Leona was probably first class, right?
She took some Emirates. He took Emirates. Yeah. We took like some Qatar flight or something like.
Qatar is quite class, right?
Yeah, Ridhwan has never flew anything but economy, budget airlines.
It still works.
So we were in Ireland then. So we did the camp lah. That camp was the hardest Because okay, so basically that camp is a sparring camp. So there's no there's not supposed to be any training. So girls will come down. So we had girls from India, it's a youth camp, okay, can I say? So it's youth girls from India, youth girls from England. There are a lot of youth and junior and some elite Irish girls. So like those who stay nearby that space, so the town is called Edenderry. So and Edenderry is like Ulu. So whoever stay nearby, like people would drive up like 2 hours to get to a sparring camp or 3 hours to get to a sparring camp. So the space that we were staying at, right, was a gym. Like in the gym, there's like a dorm to stay at upstairs. So this guy like built it just for the camp. So like we were lucky enough to stay in the camp. So like to stay in the gym. So we were able to like, don't have to like ferry here and there as much lah.
So was he the one charging charging the price to train there, or what?
Yeah, so he only charged for so in the document like indicated like I think it was like 86 euros a day. Yeah, which was like it was only a 7-day camp. So I mean $300-400 for the camp like wasn't as expensive lah.
Yeah, it was alright though.
Yeah. So and then food was provided, everything was provided. So I remember like when I think our first day, so on that camp was me, Rafana, Denisha, Leona, and Samantha. So we all went at different weights. Like we wanted 1 for 1 weight category up to 60. I've never seen like small junior, like they look like 30 kilos or 30 plus kilos, like girls beating the hell out of each other until like mouth bleeding. And like all these are like young Irish girls, Yeah, so what I remember, like our first day, the coach was telling us that like if you come all the way here, you should leave your feelings at the door. There's like no feelings allowed in the gym or in sparring, So like
we should actually start saying that at the beginning of our podcast because people should stop getting butthurt over the things we say.
Leave your feelings at the door.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Sorry, I just had to say that.
So like I was quite shocked because like I mean over here we always like got to spar the same people. Like the only blood we could see was from boys lah. Like and then when I went there, like you see like small girls beating each other up. I think I felt like for us I felt like we overestimated ourselves. That's what I felt at that time. Like because I remember getting in the ring, my first bout against was this Canadian's like girl. I've never like she was muscular and somehow my weight class and tall, and like I've never gotten hit by something like that hard in my life.
Something. You don't even want to say someone.
Like I watched back my videos, right? I was just like rambling around the ring, and I remember like this is day 1. Like, I have to put up with this for 7 days in a row. Like I'm not going to survive this I'm going to have a brain concussion after it. So that first time in my life, I had like a headache so bad that like after that sparring, like I felt I think it's a light concussion or something like that. Like I felt I was going to vomit, but I wasn't going to vomit. But then I was sitting at the table with my head down because I just had this like super bad headache. And I was like, I wanted to go home, and I remember I'm not ready for this. Like,
Can you cry?
Yeah.
Obviously.
I think I was crying with the headache because the headache was so bad.
Right.
Yeah. So I was just like, I just kind of told. So there's this coach called Coach Sri that came along with us. Yeah. So he also pumped in his own money and like follow us to this camp. And like he took care of us, like really took care of us. Then I told him like, I cannot go on after this one day. Like I wanted to say like, can I just get out of this? But then I was like, I just rest one day, then I'll go on another day. Okay. So he said like, he also felt like that was better for us because like all of them also like, I can't remember who they all were sparring on the first day, but just with the Irish girls, like the youth girls, right, we struggled already. Yeah. So Coach Sri was like, okay, like we'll train on days that we don't spar, we train. Like we'll do some training, do some circuit training, and he really took us like we'll plan the training together, like some circuit or like some strength and conditioning circuit, and then some like he'll take us for pets and things like that.
Mm.
But it was more for us to like, I guess, to learn what proper boxing and what proper sparring was. Like every day you come in, meet different girls. Like it was like a tournament feel, I guess. Like for me, so from the third day onwards, I took it as like, okay, no, this is like tournament, like win or like, but sell it, like, I mean, have like good thing, there's no loser lah. So I get to feel like what it's like to just like fight day after day or alternate days. So I remember I spar. So we were lucky enough. So I got to spar like, I think the coach after that adjusted the levels. Like, okay, like there was no way we're gonna learn from people who are a lot better than us. So might as well just put people who are like almost the same level, so we can at least learn something from someone who's slightly better than us or someone who's on the same level. You know, rather than just get wrecked in the ring.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, so but the people that avoid, like I try to avoid is like the England girls and the Irish like team A. Cause like what they are sparring them intense. I scared like
So basically, you were facing different girls. I mean, they were girls from different countries every day, right?
Yeah, in France also.
But what was the biggest learning experience that you got out from this camp? I mean, it was 7 days, so you probably did like 3 or 4 sparring partners.
I had 4 or 5, because there were days where we'll go, like we rotate partners also. So, and then we were able to like train with the India team and stuff like that. Like they'll take us on for training. So I think for me from this camp, I realized that like, and these girls, right, like that we were sparring every day without a break. They were prepping for like Europeans, African games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, to me, I realized, and so this was like their prep sparring tournament to a real fight. And then we also heard like, from then, we made a few friends and we were talking about like the association and stuff. And like, we realized that like for the team, is like we needed more support. And we are like quite blessed that we are not like, we are a team that is happy for one another. Like if someone is, like if Leona does well, if Denisha does well, like we support each other, you know? Like, and we're not like negatively competitive against each other. And then I think we also learned that like we just need to, if you want to do well, we have to get our shit together lah. Like really, really train hard and we are there. If we are there already, we just need to push that bit more, you know, just very, very little, and just have that grit. Like, but I think most of us just look that we should like leave our feelings at the. I think that really like stuck with us a lot, because we kept telling ourselves that. Yeah, like, so that was like the first part of the whole 8 weeks, of the whole 10 weeks in Europe. Then I did a 1 week. So all the girls like went back. So, and then I decided to stay on in that same gym and did training with that coach. So that coach is like Liam. That coach called Liam. He's like a 3-star IVA coach. Yeah, so like from him, like I was just hearing like how he organized like camps, like how Irish boxing is like, the structure in Irish boxing. I just wanted to know like why we don't have that kind of structure or that kind of boxing culture in Singapore lah. So on top of like training and all, we're talking about how he runs all these camps and stuff like that. So like with him, was more of like a buffer period to start my camp in Leicester.
So moving on to your camp in Leicester, how was that like? I don't think anyone else in Singapore has ever went to Europe to train, right? Obviously Leicester.
Yeah, so Leicester is like a hood kind of thing, like the hood of England.
Mm-hmm.
So I was boxing in a place called Unity Boxing, in a place called Beaumont-Leys, where it's like I can't remember what they call it, but like the non-wealthy people stay at.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think because I come from Singapore, then like I don't really know all these kind of things. So I like a bit more like gundu, walk around like myself and all. Until people tell me that I shouldn't be doing all this stuff.
It's not really safe, right?
Yeah, like I was quite scared also to like after a while I realized that shit, you know what, like I should be careful like when I'm doing all this overseas.
But how was the training there like? Yeah.
So I train in like I would call it like a pro gym because they have like pros that are signed with like Frank Warren and like all these big promoters, and like some of them are even fighting for like the British title and things like that. So like I went to a pro gym. So pro style boxing is very, very different from amateur style boxing. And when I went there, like I think I realized that my basics were not as good as I thought I was. Like it's like there were a lot of small things that I could fix on, but like Sam in Singapore helped me a lot. But like there were small things that you need all these like high experience coach to teach you, you know?
What's the difference? What is it exactly in terms of like coaching approach that they tell you that you don't hear from coaches in Singapore, for example?
In Singapore, like okay, like not Sam, but like with other coaches, like they always tell me like, hands up, man, just go and fight, you know?
Yeah, correct. Just the basic generic stuff like hands up.
They won't tell me things like how to say, like I think over there he taught me how to like for him was like in boxing everything starts with defense, like how you defend yourself. And in Singapore everything hands up. Their defense is like hands up, or like they won't ask you to sleep because they don't know when to tell you to sleep, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So over there, like I was sparring with the whole training was a mix of like strength conditioning, and that was the biggest part of my UK trip lah. Like strength conditioning, like there was a proper every day we train two, three. For me, it was 3 times because like I had to do a run because I wanted to. So in Ireland, I got a invitation to box for this cup called Ester Box Cup. That was in the midst of this England camp. And England to Europe, Ireland to Europe was Ireland to England was very, very close. So I just had to, like, the flight was like $60. So to me, I was like, I'll just do a camp. Might as well, like, when I do a camp, I prep for something. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take this time to, like, cut a bit. I just had a bit of weight to cut, like, not much. And I think because of, like the meeting the people there and, like the food there was, in a way, like, every boxer ate clean. Like it taught me a lot. They taught me a lot about recovery, how I should like face my training. Like we will do like morning, we'll run on like BMX tracks because like it's hilly, and then he said like that was good for boxing and things like that. Like we'll box down BMX.
Yeah, the pump tracks, they're called pump tracks, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I think they're called pump tracks.
Yeah, so like we will run up BMX tracks and stuff, and like we'll box up like small hills, like shadow box up hills and things like that. And I think like, and somehow I had that discipline and drive to like, I'll run every day, like get in like 5 click as fast as I can. And I think training with a team that was so driven, right, like was a big change for me, because for them, like even when I was running with them on the BMX track, like I knew I pushed myself to at least like follow them behind, I cannot like fall off. Even though I fall off but I fell off but I was like that's how fit they were. Like the weather was good. I made a lot of myself. Like I made sure that I ice bath or I hot bath, like took proper hot bath. I took this thing like a CBD oil because of that's legal. Yeah.
It's not legal.
Yeah, sadly it's not legal, but yeah, hopefully it's soon. But those kind
does it really help though?
I feel like it helps with proper, like I could go on for like 3 sessions for like 2 sessions for 5 days or 6 days, and like I didn't die.
Well,
and I think honestly, like training in Singapore with the humid weather also drains a lot of us. That's what I feel.
So when you train in that environment with that people, with that healthy competitiveness, and the knowledge that the coaches have, does it make a difference when you enter tournament?
It makes a big difference. Can I tell you like how competitive they were, right? It's like I'll run with like I'll do some kids class with the kids, like to have fun. But the kids were like, for example, we'll do a lot of like interval competition. So I will sprint against a kid, run up the stairs, come down shadow box, and then do some burpee thing and see who is the winner, right? They will compete with one another. Like it's mad. Okay, so these kids are explosive. These kids are so strong. Like, and they're like 10, 11-year-olds. Like, they're so driven and competitive that like I will lose to most of them. Like, unless it's like a very young girl or a very, very young boy, that I can beat. If he's like 11 years old, I lose him. Like, that's how competitive they were. Like, if they went up against each other, like, they will trash talk each other and things like that. Like, they'll trash talk me. 11-year-olds trash talking me.
It's a culture. Like, it builds you mentally. I think that's the thing that over here, I think we take it as hate. Like, but over there, it's just something that helps them to build their mental toughness, I think.
Like, they are so driven, right? That I remember that they were telling me that that if I want to snack, like, just say I'm on a clean diet, I want to snack, I should snack on carrots. I almost like, bro, like, I almost shot myself. That's why I realized that, like, that's how driven like they were. Like, they make sure they get like proper nutrition, proper recovery, proper training, and like day in, day out. Like I had this boxer called Leon. He would like run before training in a sauna suit, run after training in a sauna suit, like rest and then train in the afternoon again, in the evening, and like beat the hell out of everybody in sparring. And then I realized that like we don't have that kind of culture here. Like, and all these people come from, like, a lot of them in Bumanlis, like a lot of them come from like households that are not very ideal. Like,
yeah, I think difficulty for a lot of people, sports, especially boxing, is a way out of their standard of living, and people always want to reach out to be better, right? They want a better standard of living and stuff like that. And sometimes boxing or sports is the only way. So I think the problem with us is that we basically do not have much of that problem.
But like, it's just for me, like, I felt like their community was so, like, they really supported one another. Like, you will see like barbers, like haircut space, like places sponsoring athletes. You will see like machinery companies sponsoring athletes. Can I say the guy who sponsored me this camp wasn't even a Singaporean? He's an English guy, which to me was how like Singaporeans so difficult to support your local athletes. Like, and you have a lot of wealthy people here,
Yeah, and sometimes you're not even asking for them to give money, just asking them to show up and watch a fight, and they just They don't know, maybe it's life or it's just life here. I think people are just too caught up in their own shit here.
Yeah, so when I was there, I realized that like support and like I guess passion from your coaches is damn important. Like if you're a coach, like, and you want to take your athletes to like a different level, you must be so like a father in a way to your boxers. That's how your boxers can grow faster.
So what was some of the challenges? I mean, other than like training physically, of course, what are some of the other challenges that you faced when you were there training for 2 months?
They really took care of me. So like,
you didn't miss home, no?
She's like, I don't want to go home again.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't want to go home. I was telling my parents like, can I like apply for uni here or something and like just study here? And like but they like, wow, yeah. And then like, when you think about the money and how much you have to spend, right? It's like I'm not going to spend 200K just to study, just because I can just do it over here and then maybe go back to UK or something during my holidays and stuff and just train hard here. So like in the middle of that also, I went to Newcastle, the Birtley gym where Luke and Pat McCormack were. And no, sadly no. But I was happy I didn't see them because right, Newcastle is like like Newcastle for me was scary. Like everybody was not rowdy, but
Loud.
like I was colored. I'm colored, yeah. So like it was like I mean today like there's no racism in a boxing gym, but like when I walk around and like I see like I'm the only colored one, I'm a bit like scared. Like so yeah, and
some of the things that we take for granted here.
yeah, then I realized that like even though there is racism here, it's not as bad as overseas.
It's not as prevalent or in your face as it is. I mean, those are the kind of things that actually like makes us really appreciate Singapore even more these days.
Yeah, but for me it was when I was in Newcastle, like I love the training and I got to train with a few Team GB because now currently like Northeast boxing in England is like top for like on how many like GB boxers they have. Northeast is like number one. So I got to train with the 60 kilo Callum French. And then another guy called Cyrus Pattinson. This girl called Hannah Robinson, who's also 60. There's also like this girl called Hannah Shield, and then there was one more, I can't remember the name. But like when I like for me it's like partly starstruck, but like scared also because like the sparring was difficult. Like when they were fast, they were fit, they were good. I was running with girls, like I remember doing a sprint session with them on the field, right? And like so we did this like dog chase thing. Like I run, then they run after me, and I cannot allow them to like get past me, you know what I mean? But after a while the coach had to give up because I was dying at the back. That was how bad it was. Like and like all this like I was like then I realized that shit, like all these boxers are that fit, you know, are they good? Like they're all muscular, they're all like they're lean, they eat well, they have that kind of support from their coach, like yeah, and like their coach was like their dad, like for all of them, like all of the boxers, like everybody looked up to the coach, looked up to all the coaches, like they have a lot of support, like their parents are involved, like their parents like if they're young, like in Berkeley boxing there's a lot of young kids, so like if they're young their parents will send their kids there, and like even their parents like will want their kid to like beat another kid up, you know, like and brutally beat the kid up, you know, like so that's how different I feel like sports is for them and for us.
For us, even when you lose, you get a present, right?
Yeah. Like, and then it's like, you know, for us, if you lose, you try your best, yeah. Like, okay, for them, it's no man, like, they'll cry, they'll throw a tantrum, everything. So,
I mean, after you're done, obviously with the 8 weeks, right? When you come back to Singapore, right, what kind of lessons do you bring back, and what kind of things have you implemented ever since you came back?
I think for me it was like the grit, like, and the desire, like I wanted like to win something. So 1 week after coming back, I had to fly to China for another tournament. So when I went to China, like, so when I was in Ireland for the Ester Box Cup, like I won the gold medal, lah. So I was like fresh, prepared, happy. But I had this like the coaches in my corner, right, were very, very different. Like I felt like they really push me to win. Like they'll tell me like, you know, you came all the way to Ireland, you have to freaking win. Like don't come all the way here to lose, you know. So
can you also give us, I mean, that's like motivational part of the speech, but like in between, maybe the first round is done, then when you go back to the corner, what is something that they say?
They were like catch on things like, oh, she's like when she throws the cross, like her head is off the middle, or she throws the jab, head off the middle, just have to go down to the body, up to the head. Things like that, like very like technical stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's very technical stuff, because I've been in the Singapore team myself, and I mean, I'm not discrediting any of the coaches here, but I think the coaching approach and the things that the coaches say are very different. I think things like when you fight in Singapore, they will say, throw the uppercut lah, throw the body shot lah.
Yeah,
yes,
but then you don't know when.
We all know the solution. We all know what we must do, but how do we do it? That's the thing.
So for me,
that's the difference.
Yeah, when he said that, I just had to watch the jab, then like just throw an off slot cross or off slot jab to the body, then cross to the head. That's when I got like my first like like I RSC'd her in the third round. So I was like, wow, like this shit actually works.
This shit works. I'm gonna stay here forever.
So
How many girls do you actually beat up to win gold?
Just 2. Because it's like Ester Box Cup is like a small tournament. Like there were like 140 over bouts. Yeah, so like it was like crazy lah. Like a lot of girls. Like I've never fought. Like I think they've never seen Singapore before. So when I wore a Singapore jersey, they like who is this Indian girl, not India, but representing some SGP country? You know?
It's like, isn't Indonesia supposed to be INA? Or is that Poland? What's going on?
Like, when I was there, they all like thought Singapore was part of China. Like especially in Ireland, in Newcastle, they all like, y'all eat dogs, y'all eat dogs. Like they call me a dog eater. So I was like, yeah, I was just like a bit shocked. Like I've never been made fun until that. Like that was part of me that was pissed lah. But
you kicked their ass, so
yeah. So
I guess eating dog works. One, for your next fight, will you please eat a dog? Yeah. So I mean, that's quite an achievement.
Yeah. So when I went to China, right, it's like
you eat some more dogs.
Wait, first of all, no one here eat dogs, okay? No one eat dogs. And those of you who are butthurt that eating dogs is being said right now, you should have left your feelings when you started clicking to listen, okay? We're not gonna appease you. Carry on, please. What happened in China?
So in China, like I was so determined to lose, right? So determined to so determined to win that when I lost, right, it was like for me, it was like maybe I'm not cut out for this, you know. It felt like I spent all this money. Like for me, it was like to bring back. I wanted to like show off to my sponsor that, hey, you know what, you invested this money and it was worth. Like at least I had something to like I had a pay lah in a way for those 3 months, and there was good pay, you know, compared to competing and having to keep forking out my own money. Someone's actually forking out money for me. But when I lost, I was just like, I only had one job to do and I couldn't even bring home a proper like gold medal. I was like, I came back and then I was disappointed, and like I think that was like a down for my, like, as I enjoyed like boxing in England and Ireland so much that when I came back and lost, it was my, like, I was burnt out. Yeah, that was my down. That was, as much as people expected me to improve so much, right? Like, I came out, I was burnt out, and no one knew I was burnt out until like I went for SNC. Then I just told my SNC coach that I wake up, I sleep every day, but I wake up and I'm tired, and I don't feel I'm cut out for this. Like, I don't want to do any of this, you know. Then that's when he told me that like that's called that's a sign of burnout. And I was like, like I was damn shocked because like I didn't take any break for that 3-4 months of just prepping and going to England, and I just wanted to prove to people like, come back, you know, I'm gonna like England was worth my sponsors' support, and just that losing in China thing was like a very like, I remember crying at the basketball court like after the China tournament. And I was like, I didn't even dare to like call my parents because like I didn't want to tell them that like I wasted someone's money. You know? But like,
do you want to run away in China and not come back also?
No. I'd rather be in England, not China.
How did you pick yourself up after that?
So like, honestly, like for me, after China, I took a short break, like off everything, like, and that was like towards the end of the year already. I think that was November or December. Then boom, COVID. Then I like
you want to break so much, right?
Yeah. But honestly, right, like I was so happy. But then 2 months, like 1 month into COVID, right, I like semi-depressed because nothing to do. Right. So I struggled. Like first month, I just ate like a pig, like put on so much like put on so much weight that my mother like, what's going on, man? Like, because in England, like I maintained that weight and I was like a good shape. Then I came back like COVID, shit, like lose everything. And then, but I felt like stronger, like, cause I mean, you eat all that, like physically I put on more mass and I was stronger. Then Ramadan came, then like I lost a bit of weight through Ramadan, and I like found my motivation during Ramadan. Like when I was like, so for me it was like, you know what, I cannot do this shit like at home, not doing anything. Like I just called my SNC coach and like asked him, can you like plan a like I didn't call him, I just texted him like, can we do a program where, because I have like weights and stuff at home, so you just plan for me 3 days a week. I'll do a program, then I'll send you and stuff. Then you send me and stuff, then I'll like let you know like how it goes and things like that. So like for a very small cost, he charged me, then he did that. But then for me it was like staying at home was a very big problem, because we used to like go out, train, go to the gym, stay in the gym all the time. But then staying at home the whole day for me and not being able to go anywhere, like I'll be in bed like 6-7 hours watching Netflix. Then I'll go exercise 2 hours, then in bed again. Like it was a big struggle. Then I decided that I was going to pick up some like job. So I went to work at cold storage, because like I've always wanted to be a cashier in my life, because I wanted to know what it's like to like ka-ching, get all that money.
Did you manage to be a cashier?
Yeah, I became a cashier for 1 month. Yeah.
Ooh, you know, until now I still want to work at Starbucks, but they have not called me back.
So like I did a cashiering job, and then I realized that like, so from then also like I learned that this kind of job also damn tiring, like more tiring than coaching, like. And I was so tired to like, I remember like I had to stand 9 hours, I was fasting, I have to like train after that. And just nice, like at that time also like my current boxing coach called Mick. So I found like a new boxing coach to take me through training, because my local coach Sam, he kind of left to do mission work. So like he provided me like with a running program, and for me like at least I had a goal like to work, so I was able to work fast and train and run, like, and that was like running was something I always sucked at. So like that was my goal to improve during COVID. Like, and I did lah. So I was like very, very happy. But I mean, for me it was just to get myself tired, because I think as an athlete, like you're so used to being tired every day, then like suddenly during COVID, like you're not tired, you know. Like I don't know where to put all this extra energy. Like to watch Netflix, to exercise also still energetic. Cannot box also, like damn sian. Then like I tried, so I stayed on. Actually, I didn't box for 2 months. Then after that, last month I cannot tahan any. I just buy a boxing bag. Then I just fix up in my house. Like, yeah, that's up to now. So now like I'm back into training, like with Mick, and then like we're on an 8 weeks camp just to get back in shape and like improve my running.
Who's Mick?
So this guy called Mick Richards. He runs a gym at Book Key, quite near your gym actually.
Oh, okay. I think I know.
So he used to train like quite a few pros in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Then so I do a bit of work with him, and like I work with Spartans Club, but it's just like when it comes to training, I train with Mick also. Yeah.
But do you still practice all the things that you've learned in your UK stint?
Yeah. Like I've learned how to properly stretch. Things like stretching, like I learned how to have like a better shape for my boxing, better form. Like I used to be like lazy in keeping my hands up until like 2 months of some like, I think I was just scared of the coach. So like the first time I told me to put my hands up, really I like just stuck me for 2 months. So up to now like I have
the coach punch you.
No, because it's like this guy called Hutch, and like he's like, if you see him right and you talk to him right, you're so scared. Like, so for me it was like I just created a habit of having my hands up and like having a better shape, like, and kind of slow things down, like not bounce as much, like things simple small technical drills like that. And then like I kept up with the running thing, like stretching, proper recovery, proper sleep. Like they always talk to me about these kind of small things that make a better athlete, like proper food and things like that.
Would you encourage more of our local boxers to go out and train?
Yeah, like honestly, I would say go out and train, but like in a smart way. Like go and plan. Like go and don't go to like national camps and stuff, because like all these national athletes are sometimes at a level where you can't learn because they might be a lot higher than where you are. You know, like if you go to gyms, at least they can filter for you like who's better and who's not. And like just ask. Like if you know you cannot afford it, just ask. And like that's my thing for like Singapore boxing. I think people don't dare to ask, or maybe Singaporeans. Like Singaporeans don't want to like I say, to ask. But if you ask like 20 people, at least 2 will reply you. Yeah, and like you can train like at such a. I mean, you can half your trip or maybe 3/4 of your trip is sponsored or supported by someone.
I mean, it's. I mean, your story has been quite motivational in the sense that you actually were so determined to make it work that it actually worked.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, you personally, I mean, you went overseas and you won. You beat up 2 girls. You won a tournament, which I don't think anyone else would be even close to. And you got to live your life as a full-time boxer.
Yeah. Like, and I think that's something that even in Singapore, like, I think none of us have. Like, I don't know any like full-time athlete. Like, if you're only full-time if like you're a student now.
I mean, there's full-time athletes. I mean, we've had a guest who was a Silat world champion. She's a full-time athlete, right? I guess there's no full-time boxers is what we're trying to get at right now. But you never know. In the future, we might have 1 or 2 full-time boxers. Now, my question to you is: if you've had a taste of what it's like to be a boxer full-time, right?
Yeah.
Any thoughts about leaving amateur and actually going pro?
Like, I actually did think about it. Like, but I feel like for women, like in order to be a successful pro, I want to have like a successful amateur career first. Like my goal was like SEA Games 2019, but I didn't make the squad. Then like for me, if I made it, and I feel like I could have won if I went. No, because
you could have won gold.
Ridhwan's third medal. Another bronze boxing medalist.
Apparently, we only attract gold, like bronze medalists in the SEA Games here on the show, and also crybabies.
Yeah. Like, cause if I went at 57, like for women, like I feel like there should have been more slots opened up. Like we should have argued for more slots to be opened up, because, like for example, like 57 kilos, there's only two girls. So you either want a gold or a silver,
Already better than one.
Like, and then like if I went, like I had the opportunity to, I might, if I beat, like for example 57 kilos if I beat like Myanmar or something like that, I could have fought Philippines. If I beat Philippines, I get a gold. Which is like, at that time I felt like I was ready. But then like
it just did not fall into place for you.
Yeah. But then now when I look back, it's like I was like happy that, like, because like when I look at like the prep of the national team athletes for the SEA Games, right, the boxers, right, I was just like, I didn't want to be that person that had the opportunity to like travel to England and everything and train, but then my teammates, like, were struggling, with their prep and things like that.
I mean, going back to the initial question of whether you want to go pro or not, one, do you agree that you need to have a successful amateur, career before you go pro? What do you think about the way that Sabrina thinks?
I think it's sort of proven that you don't necessarily need a strong amateur career, a successful one, to make it the pros. But I mean, if you are successful in the amateurs, it will definitely help. Because I mean, in Singapore, in the Singapore context, when you are doing the amateurs, it gives you the more opportunity to fight compared as a pro, right?
Yeah.
So, and as an amateur, even if you lose, I mean, nobody likes to lose, but the lose means lesser when you compared to when you're in a pro scene. And they are already now current world champions who were never like anything remarkable in the amateur scene. So it can be done, but in terms of marketability, it can be quite cringy lah. If you see somebody like dodgy in the amateur scene suddenly proclaiming to be the best in the pro scene, so that can be a little bit dodgy in the Singapore scene. Why are you laughing?
I don't know what you're trying to imply lah.
I'm playing anything. You one, it must be you, right?
Yeah, it must number 2. Yeah, but I think it really helps to have the amateur background, because you need people to know you before they want to buy tickets in it, and the amateurs is a good start.
Like for me, like I want to win like my goal is to win a gold medal in a few more international tournaments. Then I might think about turning like.
Yeah.
Because you had the opportunity, like even though not SEA Games and all, but you were able to win at a few more tournaments, you know?
So you want to have that under your belt before you actually want to go pro. I think the important thing is that you actually have thoughts of going pro.
But like I also want to be like I thought of being a physiotherapist or like a sports psychologist or like a high performance coach, because I feel like I think that's what we kind of need more now than another athlete who will struggle in. You know, if I'm a pro athlete, in a way, like I'm still in that struggling path. But if I can be a coach or a physiotherapist or like a sports psychologist that can help maybe an upcoming boxer, then like maybe it's not in my generation to be a successful pro athlete, or but someone else, you know.
I like that selflessness that you have. And also the experience that you brought back from the UK. I think, you know, we could have a candidate to become the president of the Singapore Amateur Boxing Association.
Can fight Leona.
One, I think you, Leona, and Sabrina should all run for elections, and we should
vote for PCW.
I will be the returning officer, and I will announce the winner.
The winner.
Just don't announce at 3-4 a.m. please.
No, the funniest part is that the current president has no idea this is going on.
Yeah.
But we're just going to do the election.
Like our own.
Look, you know, we've really enjoyed listening to you and your experience overseas, and also like we've learned a lot of things about you that we've not heard of. Some things we've also learned some truths and some fake news. We've managed to clear a lot of things, you know, and just like that, I think we've gone past like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's time flies by when you're having fun. I just want to say that I think the common reoccurring theme that I've kept on hearing from your story right now is how competitive you are. And I think the competitiveness has brought you to where you are, and also helped you to realize a lot of your hopes and dreams, like how you're so determined to make it to Europe that you eventually did, and you eventually kicked some ass over there. And you've also managed to bring back all this knowledge that you have, back to the boxing scene. And, you're running that woman's thing with Leona and Danisha, the one man show women's boxing thing, right? Which is pretty cool. I mean, for someone so young, such as yourself, for me, who is a lot older, listening to someone as motivated as you actually gives me, hope about the boxing scene, and also gives me, it also justifies my reason to just stay at home and not join boxing at all, because I cannot compete with people with such motivations like you guys. So thank you so much for being on our show. We totally appreciate you sharing your stories. And I say this a lot, but every time somebody comes in the show and they share with us their story, and we share with everybody else their stories, it makes me want to watch them fight. And I hope one day I'll get to see you fight. At least you're an active fighter who I probably will have the chance to see fight. We have a lot of ex-fighters who I'm like, Dad, can you come back to the ring one more time, please? I just want to see you fight. and I also hope that, you know, we get to see a bit of what you brought back from the UK, and you know, you translate that into the next generation. Obviously, one is a bit too dumb and too old to get any kind of teachings from you. But yeah, I really hope that you continue boxing and hopefully you pave the way for the next generation.
Like I hope like I can actually do more for like the sports like culture, and like I guess just I'm pretty sure like there's a lot of like better good athletes in Singapore that we can develop. Like we've seen like champions from different sports, and like we've seen results. It's just we just need more support and structure, I guess. Yeah.
One, any parting words for Sabrina?
I think, Sabrina, you should be continuing to do what you do. Just love what you do. I think from your stories, right, I think you need to focus on proving yourself more than proving other people. So, right, at the end of the day, even if you win the SEA Games gold, even if you win the Olympic gold, somebody's going to say shit about you. So I think the most important thing is you have to prove to yourself. And you really have to watch the diet thing that you said.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, you make sure you have to stay hungry. I think that's the most important thing. You need to stay hungry no matter where you are. Because the people can motivate you. You can be in England, the people can motivate you, but you need to be self-driven. I think that's the most important thing. I think that's an attribute that separates the great athletes from the normal ones. You can be self-driven.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Like that's the toughest, yeah.
What?
Compete against yourself. Compete against yourself before you compete with other people. Deep shit.
Yeah, for once, one actually like gives proper advice. Are you gonna cry now, Sabrina? Please don't cry. Sabrina, again, appreciate you being on the show. You know, this is your chance. You want to shout out to your sponsor, to you know, anyone, just give a shout out and let people know where they can find you and follow your journey in boxing or in life.
Yeah, so like before I like want to like wrap this up, like I just want to like thank my sponsor, Yan, because I haven't even brought you out for lunch or even brought me out for lunch. I don't know the whole arrangement, but we haven't met each other since you've given me the money, which I think you deserve a lunch at least. And I want to thank like my current gym, my old gym, and I guess like my coach Sam for like always believing in me, even when I didn't believe myself, and like my parents for like supporting me through this entire like crazy journey from someone who was supposed to give up 1 year into the sport to like 5-6 years being in this, and like most probably 5-6 more years to go. So like yeah, and you can find me on my Instagram handle is like it's a weird underscore and Sabrina underscore.
Well, we'll have it down on the link, and also, you know, it'll probably be on your name when the show comes out.
Yeah.
So yeah, any parting words for you?
Follow me at tcw.legends. Don't follow me at my boy deck.
Thank you again, Sabrina, for coming on the show. I think, you know, there's a lot of things that the boxing circles or the fight circles is lacking right now, right? I mean, you're saying the culture is very different from the rest of the world. The training is very different. The structure is very different. But I like, you know, just to wrap this up, I like how positive you are. You know, you are actually one of the, if not the only person that says that we can actually catch up.
We can.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would say, "Oh, it's you know, the gap is crazy and stuff like that."
Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing that I also want to say is that, you know, we might not have the fight culture, we might not have the structure or the training, but we have a fight podcast. So keep on listening to the One Man Show. You can find us on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just saying that made me cringe. I don't know why I said that in that way. But
other countries also got 5 podcasts.
Yeah. That's why I say at least we have a fight podcast, right? Like everyone
It's
else.
like you are giving yourself a high five.
So yeah, thank you so much everybody for listening. You can reach out to Sabrina on Instagram. You can slide into her DMs. She might punch you in the face. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully, Singapore is going to start reopening itself and we can see everybody fight again. If not, just keep on listening to the One Man Show. All right.
Yes.
Bye. If you hang out with us,
You can kill your brain cells.
yeah, you'll probably revert back to the kids' class after hanging out with us.